Have everyone on now, so I will open up the meeting. The time is now 8 a.m. Today or this morning is our West Hartford Public Safety Committee meeting. This committee meeting will be available for live viewing on the WHCI YouTube channel. This is a virtual meeting and today's date is May 3rd of 2023. And I would just like to recognize the committee members and our town staff around the virtual table. We have Town Manager Rick Ledwith, Councilor Tiffany McGinnis, Mayor Sherry Cantor, Police Chief Vernon Riddick, AC Tara, Fire Chief Priest and his team, AC O'Callahan, and Emergency Management Specialist Rob McHugh. Counselor Poland just popped on, AC Riccabon, Fire Marshal Grimaldi, and Counselor Cortez, and Counselor Winograd. Did I miss anyone? And we have our host, Gerarda Reinheimer, as well. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order, and the first item on the agenda is our business items, which is approval of minutes for January 4th, 2023 and March 1st, 2023. And I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes with the necessary corrections. I did notice it's just a small typo, Rick and Gerida, on the January 4th minutes, which was Chairwoman Olinda Morales. So the first name looks like the A and the D is reversed. So that's found on page 1 of 2. Looks like maybe the first paragraph and the second, third, fourth paragraph. So once those corrections are made, minutes will be good to go.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. Next item is staff or communications. Town Manager, do we have anything in terms of communications?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair, and good morning, everyone. Just on behalf of our entire public safety team, just wanted to thank you, Madam Chair, as well as our mayor and the entire town council for your support during the budget process. Your support of additional police officers and a fire inspector will allow us to continue to meet the growing public safety needs of our town and allow us to continue to deliver the highest level of public safety services our residents expect. So from all of us, just a deep appreciation and a thankfulness for your support of everything that our team does. So thank you, and back through you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Town Manager, and you're certainly very welcome. That goes out to all of you guys and all what you've done and all what you continue to do. All right, we'll move on to staff reports. And the next item would be Chief Priest and team to deliver the fire department update. And I believe all of your technology is working well this morning.
Yes, that is correct. Good morning, Madam Mayor, Madam Chair. It's nice to see you. We've got our technology things squared away. My report has been submitted online, but I'll hit a few of the high points in there for you and something that's also not on there. I would echo the town manager's comments as well. I really appreciate the support of the fire department's budget and your comments that were made during that. They mean a lot to the men and women out there who are providing the service, as well as to our leadership team. I can actually see Chief Grimaldi's hair is starting to grow back now that we've got that other fire inspector in the queue, and we hope to get him or her onboarded as soon as possible. We have an active list, and we'll be working to have that person ready for July. So that's a very important initiative for us. Thank you for your support. Moving along the lines of our personnel activity, I'd like to congratulate apparatus operator Bill Shappert on his selection to be firefighter of the year. He had the award recently presented, and we have another ceremony coming up at the end of the month for that as well. So we're very proud of him. Unfortunately, I have something that I don't want to report, but Assistant Chief O'Callahan has announced his intent to retire. He's had an outstanding opportunity for him and his family. I will miss him tremendously as he moves on. There you go, right? Like, I'm going to try not to cry. No, I'm just joking. I will have more comments as it gets closer, but I appreciate, his loyalty, his distinction, and providing service and leadership to the town. Hope to find somebody as equally qualified to join us. And he's given us a lot of time to be able to onboard somebody. So I appreciate that as well. So I wish him well. We have several months. He'll be departing us in September. So lots of work to do in between there. Pleased also to report that we're continuing our partnership with the police department. We'll be sending 4 paramedics to tactical paramedic training. Tactical paramedic training will allow us to provide medical support to the emergency services unit. And I'm very appreciative of the relationship we have with the PD. That will also help to advance our active shooter hostile events response program as well by having folks who are more trained in that area. So kudos to Chief Riddick and his team for having the foresight to see this as being great, and look forward to that continuing partnership. Moving on to one of the calls of the month, I just wanted to note, it's listed in my report, but working in collaboration with the police department, American Medical Response, we had an unusual call where there was a person who was up on the roof who had a emotionally issue, and ultimately that person had to be sedated and then removed off of the roof using a Stokes basket. So that was a high angle rescue that involved all of our partners, police and ambulance. But we were also using grant funded training and equipment to be able to provide that service. So it was a little bit unique for us. We also recently completed our host community practice exercise. It went very well. FEMA was pleased with it. We received some feedback from our membership, including our CERT team members and our fire department members that were there. We've made some adjustments, and we're looking forward to the May 14th evaluated drill with FEMA that will be occurring at Conard High School. I'm looking forward to that. And I know for a fact that Bob will be happy. He's got a lot of time consumed into that. So other issues that are going on in the fire service, certainly we know that recruiting and retention in both police and fire service is very important. So the town of West Hartford, has been working with our legislative partners to watch some bills going through that will help support recruiting and retention, as well as a strategic plan for the fire service. So that's interesting to see that moving forward. And then obviously on the heels of Chief O'Callahan's announcement, we'll be looking at our personnel changes and how we address our personnel movement moving forward, whether or not that's through internal promotions. And along those lines, we really need to start looking a little bit more strategically. Lord Almighty. All right, so it's not AV equipment today. Apparently it's the tables. But anyways, yeah, there you go. We just need to look more strategically at how we purchase our office equipment and supplies. But actually,
This is why I'm retiring. It's too dangerous.
I don't know that you can make this up. Anyways, we're going to be looking
I
more.
was thinking the same thing. This is beautiful, Chief Priest.
This is look, I just can't even, like, I want to mute this and just let Chief Riddick go because it's just going to go off the rails after this. Anyways, going back on track, I do really want to make sure that we are focusing, and we'll be discussing with the town manager. We need to start looking a little bit more strategically at our future, specifically when it comes to like our capital vehicle replacement plan and where the department is going. So with that, I'm going to try not to destroy anything else or I was just going to end it there. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Here to answer any questions you may have of me.
Thank you, Chief Priest. Does anybody have any questions for Chief Priest on the report? Chief Priest, I have a few questions, but I'm just going to ask you one right now and probably talk to you offline. In the report under service maintenance apparatus, and I tried to Google this and, be all intelligent about asking the question. So where it says Station 5 and Station 2, the ply movants have been upgraded. Can you speak a little bit about that? Like, what is that and what does it do? And I see there's some type of air filtration, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am. That's correct. So climate vent systems remove the diesel exhaust from the trucks directly. It comes out of the tailpipe and goes up through a filtration system and brings it out. That's a cancer reduction measure for firefighters. It's a health and safety issue.
Okay, thank you. Okay, if there aren't any other questions for Chief Priest, we will move on to Chief Riddick and his team.
Good morning. Are you hearing me okay?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Thank you. I'd also like to thank you, Counselor Blanks, for your comments during the budget cycle. Much appreciated. I want to thank the mayor, town manager Ledwick for their continual support. In our culture here at the PD, it's rare to have officers come back and say glowing things about a budget meeting that they were at. And, one of our personnel actually spoke up at roll call and mentioned the very kind and professional and real and honest comments that were made about the PD and the FD. And to have a town that supports folks. Now, you hold us accountable, but, and that was not solicited by myself or the two assistant chiefs. That was done on their own. And I just happened to be at that roll call when this supervisor spoke up about that. So your words do not go back void, and people are listening and take note of it. So thank you so very much. I did submit a bullet report. I just want to highlight a couple things, one or two things that were not on the report first. Sergeant Amanda Martin was named Police Officer of the Year by the Exchange Club, so kudos to her. Excellent choice, dedicated worker. Bear calls, last year we had 405 bear calls. This year we're up 34% already year to date compared to last year. And to tell you how important it is, Channel 8 reached out to me yesterday and actually interviewed me regarding bear calls. So my street cred has went to the toilet, but I'll take it. If that's what we're dealing with, that's a sign of where we're going. So um, that's really good. I think that's going to air this Sunday with a straight face. So getting listen, big news, big news, but we'll take it, right? Hiring and retention. Retention, currently, we just have 2 vacancies. We just hired 3 more potential officers who will be going to the Britain Academy in 3 weeks. Pistol permits. In April of 2022, we had 18 applications. In April of this year, 15. The breakdown was 12 men and 3 women. Year to date in 2022, we had 79 applications. Year to date this year, we're down to 62. Moving on to a couple of highlights from notable police activities. Last year in April of 2022, we had 178 motor vehicle accidents and 553 motor vehicle stops. April of this year, we are slightly up 203 motor vehicle accidents. However, we've just about doubled our motor vehicle enforcement to 1,059 stops. Year to date in 2022, we had 1,320 stops. So just put that in perspective, year to date in 2022, 1,320. For the month of April alone, we had 1,059. And year to date in 2023, we have 2,900 motor vehicle stops and 17 DUI arrests. Our ERC center received 2,067 911 calls and 5,537 quote unquote routine calls for service year to date through April. And 98% of the 911 calls were handled in less than 10 seconds. And I believe the standard for accreditation is about 95%. So kudos to our personnel, the professionalism and how they're getting out and divvying out those calls for service. And that's not just PD, that includes FD regarding that. Some really good police work out there. So one of our motor vehicle stops resulted in developing information for a search warrant that occurred, in which we made an arrest where we got methamphetamine, I can't pronounce it, meth, and GHB during a motor vehicle stop, developed a search warrant for 773 Farmington Avenue for narcotics. And we executed that search warrant on April 27th. And two people were arrested, Jason Blinn and Jason Camo, which you might have saw in the news yesterday. We did put that out there. And they had illegal contraband located within their house, and it was about 200 feet from Whiting Lane. Another, end with this, another really good arrest, which occurred yesterday. We had a lot of stuff going on. We had an arrest warrant for Mr. Devin Sutton. Our community support unit, our detectives developed information that he was in Windsor, Connecticut. We contacted Windsor, our violent crimes task force that we're part of, the Greater Auto Theft Task Force that we're part of, and statewide narcotics that we have personnel part of, all got together, got some surveillance, and long story short, we're able to take the suspect into custody. He went mobile, and we caught him going into a bakery over there. Really good job. The underlying charges for our arrest warrant were robbery in the first degree, larceny in the fifth degree. He was a convicted felon, threatening in the first degree, and conspiracy to commit larceny in the fifth degree, and conspiracy to commit assault in the third degree. So a lot of stuff there. And during that arrest with the task force, Sutton was in possession of a sawed-off shotgun and narcotics. That arrest, because it was out of jurisdiction, although it was felonies, we could have taken it, was taken by the task force people and processed at the Hartford Police Department. And if you thought that was enough, Mr. Sutton also had an arrest warrant for domestic assault out of East Hartford. So we're happy to know he got injured. We got a gun off the street, a dangerous individual, off the street who was transient. And it's a really good job by a bunch of people. And we had a flock hit, camera hit. And as a result of that, a supervisor used resources and other officers were able to not have a pursuit. And when the individual with the stolen car parked at a local 7-Eleven, we're able to converge upon him and make an arrest and recover the stolen motor vehicle without injury. And before I close, I'm very had mixed emotions, sad and happy for Hugh. We had an excellent relationship, and I think it's a huge loss for our town and definitely for the FD and for the PD. And I'm very happy. Although he's been ducking me for the last week, I've been trying to connect with him to have a conversation. He took all these days off. But anyways, that being said, Hugh, very, very happy for you and your family for this opportunity. Chief Priest, you are his right-hand person. And even, for us in the PD, we had a lot of laughs, a lot of serious conversations, a lot of good work being done. And whoever takes over your position has some very huge shoes to fill. So that being said, I thank you all of you for your support and dedication to us in public safety, because we need it. And we're coming into our busy season, and watch out for those bears. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Riddick. It's funny that you mentioned the bears, because I don't know if anybody saw on the news, and I don't remember what town or state, where the bear was in the dumpster, and I think it was the school principal had gone outside. And I swear I've never seen an adult person take off running like that guy did. It put me in mind as if he was still in high school, because he was really hauling, what? Just really put things into perspective when the bears are around. So the sooner a bunch of us get it with the bird feeders, the better off everybody will be. Thank you, Chief Riddick, for that report. Does anybody have any questions for Chief Riddick? Counselor McGinnis.
In the arrest at 773 Farmington, that was an apartment, correct? Or was that a house?
It's an apartment. I think it was C4.
Okay. And were they living there or just using it to package their
No, they was a
product.
residents. Nope, they live there. They were residents. Yep.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Chief Riddick? Chief Riddick, I too have several questions, but I won't, take up the whole committee time to do that. But one of the questions that I have, and it's regarding the motor vehicle stops, especially the vehicle that had the sawed off, what was it? The drugs and the gun. When we collect data for the motor vehicle stops, do we track vehicles that have guns and drugs in it, or we just sort of lump it all together as a motor vehicle stop? I was just curious.
Yeah, we don't, and Riccabon and AC Tehran, I don't think we parse that out, but we do track our gun recoveries separately. So we do that, but I'm not so sure we do it as far as weapons in a motor vehicle, but I believe we can do a next-gen search for that. And just for a correction, we'll make sure we're clear on this. That arrest with the sawed-off shotgun, that was, we were surveilling him in another town, and then when he got
Okay,
out of the car, then we secured the arrest. And then,
okay,
subsequent to that, he had the shotgun on him.
okay. And then it's sort of a follow-up question to that with our officers when they do stop vehicles that have guns and drugs in the vehicles. Are they pretty much all over town, or do you find they are in certain parts of town?
I'd say there's no, oh, man, that's a tough question, so I have to answer it the right way. I'd say it's throughout the town, but the further east you go, you will see a different concentration, if that answers the question.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that. And I think I had another. Okay, I think that was it for me. Just bear with me for one sec. Okay. All right, I think that's it. Anybody else? No? Going once? Okay. Any future agenda items?
Madam Chair, I just wanted to, if you don't mind, just echo Chief Priest and Chief Riddick's comments regarding ACO Callahan's pending retirement. Everything that the chief said and both chiefs said is, and we'll talk more about Hugh's impact on our town and on our fire department as we move through the next several months. But I think what you see here, you see it virtually, but we see it every month. I mean, we have a team here, a public safety team, that you don't see what happens between our fire department and police department occur in every community. And quite frankly, we haven't always seen it here in West Hartford. And we have seen it working like this for the last several years. ACO Callahan very much a part of that team and what makes that work. So we're very fortunate to have had this team. The level of importance, obviously, that public safety means to our community. I've often said it's the foundation of everything we do here in town, of all the services we provide. It begins with our public safety. So it's going to be important that we, work together as a team and work to find the best replacement to fill ACO Callahan's shoes. And we've, what pains me to have to do is talk about succession planning, and we do that as a team. But we will work hard, and we're certain working together that we will find a great replacement to keep this team working as well as it does as we move forward and providing the level of services that we provide to this town and the fire and police department working so closely and excellent together as we have over the last several years. So we will continue to do that and find that that next great leader to fill in behind AC O'Callahan. But it's been great working with him for the last 4 years. We have a few more months together, and we will soak up all of his knowledge and expertise, and he will be there as we assist us with the transition to that next assistant chief for the fire department. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. And I too would like to say congratulations to you, AC O'Callahan, as you take this next step of going into retirement. And as everyone says, I know we still have a few more months and we're going to give you all of your accolades. But I would just like to say thank you for all of your support. Thank you for your leadership with the FG and in public safety and everything that you've contributed to the town, and certainly in your leadership role, and also working with the council and working with me, especially being chair of this public safety committee. And I would also just like to thank all of the public safety leaders on this call for your kind words in terms of the budget process, because as I've said before, the budget process is very long and full of a bunch of tasks. And as everyone knows, this is a volunteer role, so we have to do a lot of due diligence and homework. Takes you back to your college days or stressful days of full-time work. So I really want to thank you all for supporting me in this leadership role as chair of public safety. And I truly do believe and support you, and just continue to thank all of you and all of your men and women as you go out each and every day. And as I said before, covering all 3 shifts to make this town safe, where we can just all feel that we can sleep soundly and walk, ride, or drive in our streets and continue to be safe, or make that 911 call to you all and know that you'll pick up very quickly and send help very quickly. So really, I appreciate everybody and all what you do. So with that said, if we don't have any new future agenda items, I would motion for an adjournment. And I believe the time is 8:27, so I give you back almost 30 minutes. And for both chiefs, I'm going to try to make a call to you sometime today just to ask some follow-up questions. And thank you. Enjoy your Wednesday, enjoy the rest of the week, and have a wonderful weekend. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.